You know, it's only fitting that here in this early portion of the NHL season, the part of the season that I like to call scam hockey, the first 20 to 30 games up until Thanksgiving, where anything and everything can happen, the best team you've ever seen in your life can get shut out by a lottery team. All this can happen, so it's only fitting that our early season MVPs are three guys out in San Jose by the names of Eklund, Zetterlund, Granlund. It's a Nick at Night show that I'm happy to stay up and watch because for the third straight game, they came through. For all three of them came through with a point. And we're not talking about minus 140. We're not talking about scam stars like Jason Robertson who make you pay out the ass to take their point. And I haven't seen him get a point in weeks. Meanwhile, the Lunds are plus 105, plus 120. You put them together, you're getting plus 290, plus 450. And they continually come through. It's a beautiful thing to see, and it's how you can use scam hockey, which sinks a lot of other people. It's like shining the light back on Jeepers Creepers' face or something. That's exactly what we've been able to do with these San Jose Sharks, while avoiding other mines in this early season minefield. On a night where you saw Dallas, who had never lost at home all season, lose to the Anaheim Ducks on a night where the runner-up to the Stanley Cup, a team that was one game away from the Stanley Cup, got shut out by one of the worst defensive teams in the entire NHL. Connor McDavid, pointless, in Montreal, a team with awful defense, awful goaltending. That's what happens in hockey. Last night, if you watched Monday Night Football, and if Dallas ended up winning that game, everyone would be like, oh my God, Cooper Rush, he beat the Texans. This is the crit in the NHL. You get 3 a night. That's how easy it is. It's not even hard. The Canadians, they moonwalk. Easy win, easy shutout of a team that's probably favored still to win the Stanley Cup. That's what the NHL is, and that's why I'm always trying to give player props. You want to go to take the Rangers minus 1.5 tonight. No, I'm going to go elsewhere. I'm going to look for things in this Rangers game. Like, for example, Rangers are coming off of a 2-0 shutout. What do I like to tell you guys about shutouts? What do I like doing right after shutouts? Yes, that is correct, Michael. I like going under 6.5 after a team pitches a shutout because the same way we try to tail hot teams, the same way we just took the Lunds, we rode the coattails of the Lunds. I think defensive chemistry also has that same type of vibe where a team plays a certain way one game, they have a little shutout streak going, and then they build on that right into the next game. But that's not the only reason why I like the under 6.5 in this game. There are a couple different reasons on both of the teams. First, we'll start with Vancouver. The easy answer is Brock Besser isn't playing, so now JT Miller has different, like he's playing with Pius Suter and Leka Ramaki. Sounds like a Mecca Leka High, Leka Meraki Ho. Surprised I just pulled that out of my
Leka High,
Leka Meraki.
Ho, ho, ho.
You have a roster not playing to its full potential, and it's also missing a couple players, including JT Miller, who apparently is trying to play through a shoulder injury. He was benched in the third period last game. He played 2 shifts. It's being debated whether it was like disciplinary related about how he played, or maybe he just wasn't playing well because he's dealing with his shoulder injury. Regardless, a reduced JT Miller on that team where they're already dealing with the Pettersson confidence issues, a lot of offensive problems potentially that they're looking at. Then on the other side, first of all, we always have Shesterkin who can bail us out. Always great when you got a goalie who can help you hit an under with some critical saves. Dostal got us some critical saves last night. It's great having a good goalie anytime you take an under. But second, Philip Hedl, who has been a sneaky good part of this Rangers offense. He breathed life into that third line, and they rely so much on that Panarin line, just like they did last game. 0-0, almost halfway through the game. They weaseled 1 goal, Panarin to Lafreniere, and then they got one later on, a low-scoring win. So no Hedl, no Besser, a Vezina caliber goalie. Team's not scoring a ton 5-on-5 and rely on a lot of power play success. A lot of ingredients for an under 6.5, if you ask me. So I'll go under 6.5 in that game between the Rangers and the Vancouver Canucks. And then let's revisit those Oilers who got shut out by the Montreal Canadiens. They're heading right back out there on the ice the next night. And I actually like that they are because those are back-to-back losses. Now, they lost against Toronto when they had a lead, and then they get shut out by Montreal. I would imagine some good offensive burst here. And The good thing about getting shut out is that the price, that bad price that we couldn't take yesterday, we took Connor McDavid back to back to back, and he was raking up points. Well, they got shut out last night. His point prop, his over 1.5 was minus 140, minus 150 last night. Well, you get shut out for everyone to see. What do we got now? Minus 110 intro to betting, best player in the league, over 1.5 points for Connor McDavid against the Ottawa Senators. I'd be hard-pressed to believe, although this is the scam part of the season, even if they lose the game, I think McDavid can get 2 points, because I feel like if they struggle halfway through this game scoring, you know what they're doing. They're throwing Draisaitl on that top line. They're stacking it. So whether it's through the power play or rejiggered lines with Draisaitl and McDavid, I think he'll find his way to over 1.5 points. So give me McDavid for 2 points in that game against the Ottawa Senators. So that's your intro to betting play. Over 1.5 points for the best player in the NHL. You want to start getting advanced? Let's take some Snakeonomics courses. We got the St. Louis Blues hosting the Minnesota Wild. Minnesota, they're dealing with some line changes. We got some promotions, we got some demotions, and we're looking to cash on both sides of that escalator. We're going to go to the upside down. It's going to be one of these Stranger Things season. We're going to go through that portal, look for a couple unders.
I see them.
The MTV commercials, it's longer than the show. I got a Playboy in front of me. I can read this whole thing front to back by the time they come back from commercial.
I hope not.
In fact, I might actually do that.
Grab those unders, come back, and then take a couple overs. What's going on with Minnesota? They haven't been scoring a bunch. They didn't have Eriksson-Ek. They lost Zuccarello, who's on IR, and they had a makeshift lineup. Tough loss against Dallas. Only were able to score 1 goal. They're getting Eriksson-Ek back. And where are they slotting him? Where are they putting him back? They are putting him back with Boldy and with Cyril Kaprizov. So you have a ultra-stacked top line, but that comes at someone's expense. Who is that someone? M.Rossi, who was playing on that top line previously with Kaprizov and Zuccarello. Now, he's not on the top line. He's not on the top power play, but we're getting a price as if he was playing with Zuccarello and as if he was playing with Kaprizov. So give me that under 0.5 point for M.Rossi, who isn't on top line, isn't on top power play, and his 5-on-5 line mates are Marcus Johansson and Ryan Hartman. I will take my chance on under 0.5 point, especially in these Blues games. A lot of them have been crusty, low-scoring games. I'm going to go under 0.5 point for him, and then I'm going to do the Stranger Things double under. We nailed that one last night with the Ducks. We nailed that one on Friday, the Perfetti and Nemestikov, which I'm actually okay with again on this slate. But in this Minnesota game, give me that under 0.5 point for M.Rossi and Marcus Johansson. Take that escalator ride up to the top to take a couple of overs. We have the return of Eriksson-Ek, this is a minus 125 is a great price. That's a second line price playing with Boldy and another winger. That's not a Kaprizov price. So we got the top scorer in the NHL playing with Eriksson-Ek and Boldy. They're going to have to do the heavy lifting offensively in this game. So either they're scoring or they're losing, and it's probably staying under. So give me the point combo for Eriksson-Ek and Boldy. Well in the plus money. You have 2 ups in the plus and 2 downs also in the plus. This is how you sniff. This is how you snake.
Bill Cosby.
Yep.
New sugar-free Jell-O instant pudding. Can Bill Cosby speak for dinner?
My God.
We're also getting good prices on Buchnevich and Kyrou. Buchnevich in particular. Him and Kyrou, I like that one as well. That's obviously, I put out the sheet with all these line combos, but that really does stand out as a good one in this game against the Minnesota Wild. What if it stays low scoring? Well, then I guess we're going to hit those double unders. So that's my assortment of bets in that game. And then one more that I wanted to touch on was this Anaheim Ducks Chicago Blackhawks game. This is Anaheim riding high. They just scored 6 goals against Detroit and then 4 goals, 1 in Dallas. They're on cloud 9, and now they're going into Chicago, who's not on cloud 9. They've just rejiggered the lines. Is the worst lines you ever seen in your life now. I don't know who's sorting these lines. They scratched Taylor Hall last game. I'm hoping for some bad team ruckus. We can always get a chance. I told you this before that Pittsburgh-Columbus game. This can go one of 2 ways. Low scoring or absurdly high scoring. What was it? That game was a 6-2 final? Not that I'm hoping something similar because Chicago is just straight up struggling offensively. I'm going to ride the coattails of these Anaheim Ducks. We nailed the overs on the guys that I liked 2 games ago. Then we nailed the unders last night. So where am I going? Does that mean I want to go back to Terry and Vetrano? I actually have no problem with that at all. But you want to know who I'm going with? I'm going with Rene Zellweger. Remember, whatever happened to Rene Zellweger? No, I'm going with Zellweger, the defenseman on the Anaheim Ducks. He's got 3 points in his last 2 games. And as I keep telling you guys, the power play defenseman who gets free touches on the puck, it's valuable in every single team. You see Jake Wallman last night? Work that top power play with the Lunds, and there's a point for you. The increased opportunities when you are a defenseman on that top power play, it's incredible. So this guy has 3 points in his last 2 games. That's what I'm plus 150 for a point. You want Heiskanen? That's minus 160. You want Rene Zellweger? That's plus 150 against the Chicago Blackhawks for Olen Zellweger. And that is what I have for you here on a Tuesday. Good luck to you. It's always going to be better luck to me. Always, always, always. Regardless of how much luck eventually comes my way and regardless of how much bad luck comes your way, it's still better luck to me.
7-Up, it's me.
Help spread these videos to other people. We're at 17,000, and I really appreciate you and any other new sniffers who may have found these videos. If you could help spread it, it would be greatly appreciated. Click the notifications so you know when the videos come out. They come out at all different times, sometimes night, sometimes day, sometimes I don't know. It's like that happy hour, it's always happy hour somewhere. Well, these videos can always come out. But what I would appreciate the most is if you guys become a minority owner of this show and you support a creator. You come to patreon.com/Andy Francess. That's where I post the line combos. I send them out about an hour or 2 before game time. That's where I post my weekend picks. That's where you can engage with the other sniffers in the chat rooms there, which are going on every single night. I hope to see you there. If not, I will see you tomorrow for another round of NHL Sniffs. Take it easy. I'll talk to you then. Let's go, Zellweger.